G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at basically which World Tournament SSR units you should consider Extreme Z Awakening in DBZ Dokkan Global. Now there's a couple SSR units that are potentially interesting options for you if you're looking at Awakening or Extreme Z Awakening them. There is the physical game reversing technique Goku, who with his EZA changes orbs to rainbow key spheres and has the ability to guard attacks with 3 or more key spheres obtained, which can be pretty useful, although it is slightly niche. I don't feel like he has enough in terms of raw stats to uphold that gain. We then have the Strength Goku, the Kid Goku, who also kind of feels a little bit let down comparative to other Gokus. He's solid enough, but you gotta remember these big passives that these units have, like he has 180% attack and defense, an additional 180% attack and defense, etc. These things don't mean so much with World Tournament units. We have Strength Gohan Teen, who gains some abilities when facing 2 or more enemies and has even more abilities when facing 3 or more enemies. However, again, suffering from the fact that he doesn't have much utility outside of that. He's not necessarily a top tier support, nor is he a crucial unit in anything outside of SBR, but in general he's an okay unit that has some decent viability for certain SBR and ESBR. However, considering how rare the EZA currency is, should you be using him, it's a bit difficult to say. He's very much kind of niched into that multiple target or multi-target round capabilities. Outside of that, although I don't have him, we do have the Demon King Piccolo, and I'm using Int Piccolo as a representation because I don't have Demon King Piccolo, but Int Demon King Piccolo is very solid, probably the second best or tied best unit as an option outside of the Tech Gohan, who we'll take a look at just now. I think the Int Demon King Piccolo is probably the second best unit in terms of performance, just due to the fact that he's very similar in design to the Jackie Chun. So he's very much quite similar in design to Jackie Chun, gains 30% damage reduction against an enemy he fires a super attack against, whilst being an attack support buff for the sworn enemies category. This is relatively solid in terms of functionality. We then have the Super Saiyan Goku. 2 Super Saiyan Gokus are currently available for EZA. This one is an AGL tech and N-type support of 30%, which is pretty good, and he also has a medium chance of evasion, as well as also having a medium chance of critical hit if there's a tech ally on the team. Overall, I think he's relatively solid. He does raise attack and defense for 6 turns, which means he can get to a decent level of tankiness. However, I do feel he is a little bit limited. One nice thing about him is he does have a very good link set, which is good, and he's on quite a few categories, seeing as he's one of the few Gokus on heavenly events. Alongside that, we have the Tech Gohan Youth, probably so far still my favorite unit in terms of the EZAs, being an exceptional 3rd slot unit that is a great support for Tech, AGL and physical type units, whilst also just being incredibly strong as a 3rd attacker. He also raises his defense permanently, which is pretty good, massively raises his attack for 1 turn, and causes supreme damage to the enemy. So overall, just a very niche, yet incredibly useful unit that's great in a lot of content. I personally find him to definitely be the most usable due to the fact that he's tied to the 3rd slot, but has great support capabilities. And then finally we have Tech Goku, very similar to the Int Goku in design. He has attack and defense of 130%, an additional attack and defense of 50% when performing a super attack. He gives all allies Ki +1 and attack and defense of 25%, plus an additional attack and defense of 15% and 7% crit chance for legendary existence category allies. He has an additional attack of 50% with a high chance of performing a critical hit when he is facing a freezer enemy. Obviously, the final unit that we have is Bardock. Bardock is probably the weakest EZA out of all of them. His EZA is, generally speaking, just not one that's considered usable. At least, well, he's usable, but he's just not spectacular. An additional attack and defense of 40% with each super attack performed up to 80%. A strength and AGL type support, and attacks effective against all types when HP is 70% or less. He's decent without being distinctively overtly impressive. In terms of the two units you should consider Extreme Z Awakening, I would definitely say the Gohan is probably up there as one of the top considerations, and I would say that the Int Demon King Piccolo is definitely my second choice. Gohan is really good. He's a great support. He does exceptionally well in the third slot, and overall he's just incredibly viable in a ton of teams with a lot of categories and a good link set. The Demon King Piccolo is kind of the opposite. He's a little bit more niche. He's not necessarily as good in terms of linking or things like that, but what he does have is he does indeed have a much stronger kind of purpose. You can use him to fuel very specific units, one of those being the Int Demon King Piccolo, or sorry, Piccolo Jr. Not only do they share some decent links, but more importantly, he's a flat out support for him that can sit in the second slot on his team, and it's just generally speaking a pretty good unit. But that's just my thoughts. Obviously you can let me know yours, and of course, as always, you guys can give me a shout in the comments and let me know what you're thinking is the best unit to utilize. But outside of that, I think that's pretty much it for me. Obviously this is just to try and help you guys spend your EZA medals wisely, and I'll see you next time. Bye.